Now, listen, you guys, we have a lot of things to catch up on. Yesterday, there was no show. And so today, we're going to be talking about Advovo BBL and her ridiculously and desperately adding more old songs to her album. And we're also going to be discussing about Katie Got Bandz. It seems like now she is turning on Nicki Minaj and being shady. Meanwhile, Deb is out there lining up the Breakfast Club. And as usual, they are acting surprised, shocked. They don't know why Deb is responding to them, despite them throwing some shade towards people who have worked with Gucci in the past. And these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the Tea Blog. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about this entire situation with Advovo BBL. It seems like she decided to release extra tracks to her album. You guys know that, well, it was being reported that it's about to depart from the Billboard 200. And I guess now she's desperate for it to break some form of record, to hold some form of record since it couldn't outsell Nicki Minaj and it couldn't even do 200, okay, because it later was reported that it actually did below 200. So it seems like she's not letting this go, okay. In one breath she's chasing a new era. She's like, my new era is gonna be lit. In the next the next moment she's coming adding old songs, because tell me, what is that song of hers with Bruno Mars doing on a 2025 album? Like, the desperation of it all. Had it been anybody else doing this in rap, they would have lost everybody's respect. But I guess because it is Advovo BBL, they are letting it slide as usual. But then again, I'm just thinking, deep down, does she feel successful when she looks at this? Does she feel like, oh, finally I've got a record? I did beyond. It's like I'm just looking at her and I'm like, girl, won't you give it up? But that being said, she also did add some extra features there. Lottery ticket is on that, edition as well, and it seems like she decided to also feature Jeezy. And of course, people are having mixed reactions about this, because previously, when Jeezy had worked with JT for OK, they called him washed up. They called him a Kia. They called him all sorts of names. So all of a sudden, for her to now go and try and create a club banger with Jeezy, people are like, okay, are these just not double standards? So it seems like you look to JT for what's next. I don't know, you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. I don't want to give a review about the songs because, in all honesty, I have not listened to them. And I'm not about to sit here and be a hater when it comes to the songs when I didn't even listen. I just didn't care that much to listen to that. All I saw is that, well, she added extra tracks and she also added Please Me. Like, imagine that's all I saw, and that's what I'm gonna comment on. As for the songs, let me know in the comment section, you guys. Are there something to write home about, or are they just nothing? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think that they're gonna be having a longer impact to the album in the long run? Do you think that maybe they will buy the album 2 more weeks in the Billboard 200, or do you think that, well, it's probably a 1 week thing? That's it, if they even manage to keep the album in the Billboard 200 chart. Let me know in the comment section all about that. Still speaking about her, I saw her commenting and responding to allegations about her baby daddy having twins, expecting twins with an Instagram model. And it seems like she's debunking the rumors. She's like, where are the twins? You keep talking about those twins, where are the twins? And if I were here, the last thing I would do is to come on the internet trying to defend a man, because one thing about men is they will leave you in the desert without water, as the great Kanyimba once said. Okay, you don't come on the internet and vouch for men, especially men that don't stay in your pockets, because at some point, I promise you, men can leave the house for like 2 minutes and you will not believe the unthinkable things that they will be accused of doing in those 2 minutes. So now imagine Stephon Diggs and all the allegations that are being brought forward against him. Like, why would you be out there advocating for that man? But then again, that's it seems like that's her style. She used to do the same when it comes to Offset as well. But now look where that left her. But this again just goes to show you that she's not learning anything. Okay, she's not learning anything. She keeps on repeating the same cycle over and over again with the same types of men, even worse. And then the same example, the same mistake, I'm sorry, she was making with Offset of coming on the internet to try and defend this man is the same mistake that she keeps on doing. So at this point, it seems like she absolutely likes it. And if she likes it, we love it. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about Katie got Bandz, okay? And at this point, I do not know what female rappers expect from Nicki Minaj. I really do not know. Because tell me why Katie got Bandz all of a sudden is salty about Nicki Minaj for what exactly? I do not know. This is the same girl who was given an opportunity to be on a number one song, Super Freaky Girl, with Nicki Minaj. Yeah, she found her way there. Like Nicki really gave her that opportunity. And now she's talking about, oh my God, she needs to pipe down and let others shine. And I'm just thinking, when last did Nicki Minaj release music? Okay, this year. So is that not enough time for you guys to shine? What exactly do you want her to do? She gave you ample opportunity. When last did she release an album? What did you do with that time that she gave you to shine? Because at this point, even if you guys are given an entire decade of no music, you are not shining. So she might as well just keep on working. And what kind of a gem are you if you need another gem to stop shining so you can shine? It means that you were not shining to begin with. Because if you're shining, you can all shine together. So to literally ask another diamond to say, don't be sparkling so that I can be sparkling. You're being selfish for sparkling. I mean, if it was created like that with that sparkle, what do you expect the diamond to do? It's ridiculous. It's that narrative is tired, it's old, it's ridiculous. Advolvo BBO was given an entire time, okay, to sell an album and to outshine and to outsell as she was claiming. What did she do? She got pregnant and started selling the CDs barefoot. Roadside. That's the type of shining that she ended up getting. So whose fault is that? You were given a platform by Nicki Minaj. What did you do after that? You couldn't really even, ride on that hype and create something for yourself. In as much as JT hasn't accomplished a lot in her solo career, you can tell that the Super Freaky Girl, it kind of did help her. That interaction with Nicki Minaj, she was able to get something from that. And you, on the other hand, I don't know at this point what Nicki Minaj should be doing. She should probably be carrying you like a kangaroo holding its baby or something like that. That's what you expect from this woman. And at this point, honestly, I just hope Nicki doesn't give any of them a chance. Because at this point, no matter what she does, they will always blame her for their own lack of success. So doomed if she does, doomed if she doesn't. The logic is just ridiculous to me. But the thing is, we don't ever hear other people, saying the same things about other stars that are, thriving in their own genres. I'm yet to see people saying Beyonce should stop shining in a genre so that others can shine. They have accepted that she's good at what she does, and that's just that. There's nothing you can do. She puts in work, she practices, she improves the craft. She does that. She's working hard. The same with Nicki Minaj. But for some reason, when it comes to Nicki Minaj, oh, you should let others shine. Y'all really sound like some haters, to be honest. At this point, it's just hating somebody who continues to thrive. Because Katie, what did that woman do to you? To get an opportunity and then sit with Adam and spew this nonsense is wild to me. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about Bongo 2, okay? Bongo 2 and Megan and Milagro. It seems like a lot of things are happening in that lawsuit. Now, allegedly, they are claiming that, well, Milagro is not media. She's not a media personality. She's just an individual. She's not. And well, they are saying that the reason why the lawyers are now attempting to say that Milagro is not a media personality is they are required to send like a cease and desist before they, file a lawsuit like this. But allegedly, they didn't do so when it comes to the Milagro and Bongo 2 situation. So now they are contesting to say that she's not a media personality. And so at this point, they are just suing somebody who's not the media. Like at this point, I don't know, the logic clearly has left the charts, because she's saying she lost $10 million worth of opportunities from Milagro talking about her. But if Milagro is a nobody and she's not a media personality, how can a random internet person make you lose 10 million worth of dollars? I This is the part that I don't get. But then again, Milagro also came forward to say that, well, somewhere along the line, it seems like somebody did purchase, did trademark Milagrograms and of course, Mob Radio. And, she's just looking at the timing and it's not making sense for her. And at this point, I don't know what Rock Nation is trying to do with this entire lawsuit. It's now all over the place. It's really all over the place. It's giving, they want to get Milagro, as much as they can. They cannot afford to lose the case, so they're doing whatever they can to set an example to Milagro, which is rather pathetic, honestly. If you ask me, an entire corporate like this going after an independent media, platform, like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. But anyway, let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about the Breakfast Club and Deb Antney. Now, you guys know that the Breakfast Club, despite them having banned Gucci Mane on their platform, they conveniently invited Gucci Mane to talk about, the fact that he has, mental health issues, together with the wife. And in that interview, the wife was pretty much the spokesperson of Gucci. It was looking very cringy, if you ask me, very suspicious. I was like, what's going on? We get it, somebody can have mental health challenges, but that does not mean that they cannot speak up for themselves. I mean, that surely doesn't mean that. But well, conveniently, when they were trying to push this narrative of Nicki Minaj being mentally unstable, that's when they decided to bring back Gucci despite having banned him. Now, for those of you who may say, what's the problem with that? Now, it is no secret that Gucci Mane has felt some type of way towards Nicki Minaj. These guys have been in a way in sort of the same camp when they were still being managed by Deb Antney. And so during that time, Gucci was more popular than Nicki Minaj at the beginning of everything. And allegedly he tried to have his way towards Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj refused. This is according to Deb Antney. And since then, Gucci Mane felt some type of way towards Nicki Minaj, and has been a hater. He hasn't liked Nicki Minaj because of that. And despite that happening, Nicki continued to give Gucci Mane his flowers. But of course, just like, these misogynistic men that are out there with their egos bruised, once you decline, their advances, they will carry that grudge for a lifetime. So deep down, it seems like Gucci has always felt some type of way about Nicki Minaj. And then he went on with his rant where he was lying on Nicki's hoo-ha. And Nicki checked the behind out of him. But since then, Nicki still continued to give him his flowers. She continued to do so to the detriment of her relationship with Deb Antney, where Deb felt like, why do you continue shouting out this guy? He doesn't even like you. But Nicki continued to pay her respects. So when the Breakfast Club, invited Gucci Mane and his wife to the interview, they started hinting on, well, so to the wife now. So if you see another celebrity crashing out, can you tell that this is a mental health thing? And sadly, people could tell that they were trying to insinuate that, well, another celebrity is going through the same thing that Gucci Mane is going through. And given their history with Nicki Minaj, people started saying, well, it seems like they were insinuating that Nicki is mentally unstable. And I guess after they realized that, well, whatever shade they were trying to throw at that woman was not going to make Nicki respond to them, they decided to move on to the next conversation where they were asking. The funny thing is, the questions were seemingly directed to Keisha Ko. Keisha Ko wasn't around when Nicki and Deb and Gucci were dealing together. I mean, business wise, obviously. Keisha wasn't around. Keisha doesn't know anything about that except what her husband tells her. But for some reason, the Breakfast Club was seemingly directing those questions to Keisha, who had no problem answering the questions on behalf of Gucci. So they say that, well, how do you feel about the fact that people don't give Gucci his flowers? They don't shout him out despite him being a big story of their success and all of these things, making it seem like Gucci put Nicki Minaj on. And as if that was not enough, DJ Envy went forward to say, like, even Nicki Minaj, Rick Ross, nobody know. Now it's funny that people don't seem to know that they were all part of Gucci, like basically crediting Gucci for the success of these artists, careers. And then Keisha Ko went ahead to say, yes, yes, basically saying that Nicki is not out there giving Gucci his flowers. And Deb Antney, as somebody who was there, felt disrespected by that, because she was like, well, there's no Gucci without me also. Keisha is now making it seem like she is the one who started dealing with crazy Gucci, but I've been dealing with him. There are a lot of things that were happening behind the scenes and a lot of measures that I took. The only difference is I didn't sit down and start doing interviews about it. Number one. Number two, him wanting credit for Nicki Minaj's career is insane, because I was a huge part of Nicki Minaj's career, like at the beginning of it all. So Deb was basically, speaking against the narrative that they were trying to put out there, to say that everybody who worked with Gucci at some point doesn't give him flowers and stuff like that. Deb wasn't feeling it, and Deb spoke up. And what did the Breakfast Club do next? Gaslight. If there's one thing that those people know how to do, is to act like they don't know where that is coming from. Because after Deb checked them and clocked them, guess what they did? They went on their platform. They started talking about, oh, we don't even know why Deb is saying that. Oh my God. Oh my God. This and that. We never say that. We say, we never. Now, all of a sudden, they don't know what they were saying when they were out there interviewing Gucci. And the fact that they don't understand that whatever they say literally stays on the internet. So trying to come back and act like you don't know why Deb is all of a sudden responding is crazy to me, when evidence is literally there on the internet. You brought up those people unprovokedly. Absolutely unprovoked. And for you to sit on there and act confused as to why Deb feels some type of way is crazy. And then they started saying, well, here saying that, that's not Gucci. That's not who Gucci is. This is just growth. Just listening to them is ridiculous, you guys, honestly. Those guys have lost it. They have lost the plot. I guess they were not prepared for the internet era, where people really, truly can just go back and pull out the previous video or the previous interview and say, this is what you said, because they're beginning to look literally like clowns. They will literally say something today and then the next day act confused when people respond to their BS. I guess they are used to traditional radio, where people didn't have the platforms to speak up and speak out and respond. Their narratives used to hold water back in the day because, well, there was no internet to debunk. There was no independent media where people could go and speak their truth. And it seems like they are not equipped for this new wave of media. They are not. Because now all Deb had to do was to go on a different platform. And guess what? If Deb were to go to academics, Joe Biden, and all these other platforms, chances are she would probably even get more audience than the Breakfast Club. And this is the era that they haven't prepared themselves for. And so now they look crazy. They look crazy trying to gaslight, because it doesn't work anymore. People have different outlets. Even without an interview, people can just hop on their platforms and speak their ish. So I feel like at this point, for them, for their gaslighting to work, they need to catch up. They need to catch up to what's going on in the world around them. I get it. Charlamagne is trying to, get into the podcasting world, trying to keep up, but as long as you continue being a clown, no one is going to take you seriously, because nobody really does subscribe to paid media propaganda anymore when there's independent, unbiased media outlets all over the place. People don't care about that anymore. The power that they used to have, they do not have anymore. And they don't seem to realize that. But anyway, let me insert the ridiculousness of it all and tell me what you think about the Breakfast Club and all the clowns over that station. Until my next one, see you. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell, because we have a lot of things to talk about. Bye.
Interview with like
not giving Gucci his flowers. So let's take a listen to Deb on Keisha Kaur.
So did you see the Breakfast Club interview with like Gucci and Keisha?
Oh God. Unfortunately, yes. I can't begin to tell you how many people sent me that. I don't follow the Breakfast Club, but I've had that sent to me by several people. That's not the Radrick that I know. It just did not seem like him. In a million years, you wouldn't get to make me believe that either he wasn't drugged up or something wasn't going on with him there. I don't feel like she should have came out nationally saying the stuff that she said about her husband. I don't think that that's for the world. That sounds like somebody that wants attention and that threw her husband out on the chopping block. I don't care what anybody say. This ain't about them worrying about no damn mental health. This is worrying about people trying to be on top.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And she also spoke about the mental health, as you guys just heard. Now, another part of this interview, she talks about the fact that...
Can I comment on that real quick?
Please, go ahead.
Evolve so hard that people have to get to know you all over again. Evolve so much that people don't even recognize you anymore. That is exactly what life is actually about.
Well, you know, it's funny you said that. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking that when you show that change, people won't believe it. People will criticize you. They will issue on your change. Because after that interview, right, everybody would say he was drugged up, he was this, he was that, he was next to his wife. I seen him a couple days later in Hampton, Virginia, where he performed. And Gucci was the same calm, cool, collective Gucci. He didn't have his wife around. He was with his crew, his security. It was the same.
All I see is a healed individual.
He was a changed individual.
That's all I see is a healed human that's still on a journey of healing. That's all I see.
And one
he was up here talking about his drug addiction back then, and she said he was drugged up during the interview.
But when I seen him in Virginia and Hampton, he came up to me and he said, "I just want to say thank y'all." And I said, "Why? What's up?" He said, "Because I shared my story." And he said, "I know some people will joke and some people won't." He said, "But people are actually reading the book, and so many people are hitting me saying, 'Hey, you helping to change my life. I want to change my life for the better. I'm getting into therapy. I'm getting help.'" And he said that was the main focus.
The path of personal growth and development brings huge changes in your life. And yes, they go from the inside out. Yes, you should not recognize me. I don't have, that's how you should evolve.
Drop a bomb for Gucci one time.
Absolutely.
But imagine after doing all that work, right? You being told that you drugged up.
Right.
For doing the work. Like I'm the best I've ever been. I'm my best self. I'm telling y'all my story, and this is drugged up. That's crazy.
Yeah, and Keisha Kaur has been, I mean, you guys have seen it. She's been getting a lot of things thrown her way just because she's supporting and helping her husband.
Just for being his wife.
Yeah, and Deb Antney also talked about what she went through with Gucci herself. Let's take a listen to that.
I went through tons of stuff with him, and I'm not going to go through all of that now just because I don't deal with him. I've never advertised anything. People never knew about none of that stuff. And I placed him in hospitals. I've done various things, and nobody ever knew nothing about it. And when she sat there and said, "Oh, she wished that people would nothing about it," and when she sat there and said, "Oh, she wished that people would bring him up," well, talk about me, because you wouldn't have him if it wasn't for me. And that pissed me off when I seen that. My son always talk about Gucci, and Waka didn't come out when Gucci was on the stage. Waka was Gucci's hitter. It wasn't about him doing music with Gucci. That didn't happen. He didn't put French Montana out. He didn't put Nicki out. I put Nicki on that stage. He never wanted her on the stage.
That's
and
really
he didn't do nothing with French. He robbed French. I'm tired of them taking away what I did. I got boxes and boxes of paperwork anytime they want to try me.
Yeah.
You know he was up here promoting a book, right? That's why. Like, he wrote a book. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if somebody like asked him, I guess, you know, like what was going on with you and Deb? You know, how was Deb?
Yeah, nobody asked him. Nobody asked him about Deb. I mean, I do know Deb had a huge hand over a lot of the artists.
Yeah, Deb put in a lot of work.
Deb put in a lot of work. Deb had helped Gucci and his label and a lot of stuff. But we didn't ask about that. But
right.
Deb definitely did put in a lot of work.
The question. I think in all of this, what it is that people feel like, you know, they want their credit. I know Keisha Kaur wants it for Gucci and Deb Antney wants it for herself because everybody's putting work. I understand both sides, but
but when you say like because she had said something about like I did a lot of things, but I didn't say anything.
Talk about it.
I didn't, you know. Yeah, he wrote a book. Like this is his book.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that's why it's being talked about, and it's shedding light on his stories to bring awareness for other men that's going through the same thing.
That's been the craziest part for me is people turning this into everything but him helping people through sharing what he's going through.
I'm proud of Gucci. If y'all would have seen Gucci years ago, this is a totally different
I remember
Gucci.
the video in the mall.
He's evolved. He's a different human being. So seeing him here and then seeing him in the streets, he's a different Gucci, and I'm proud of it. And I love to see the evolution.
And all I know is if you see a person on a healing journey and you don't believe that they're actually on a healing journey, it just lets me know that maybe you might need some healing too, because healed people see different.
I agree. I don't know if I'm healed enough to see the difference yet, but I think that's probably true.
All right. Well,
that shoulder ashy. I've been wanting to tell you that all morning.
My shoulder is not ashy.